Okay, we are going to talk about architecture feature 8. The architecture feature 8 are the rainwater tanks. I already mentioned them before. I am going to mention them again, this time explicitly them. The progenitors have had this unusual obsession in recollecting water from the rain. They have done this through years, many years. They said, every time they were asked, the plants grow better with with rainwater. They have a lot of this kind of vases, fill it with rainwater. You said, well, why they need that? Well, I discovered it thanks to ChatGPT. For some mixes, they need pure water. They need water that is not from tap water. The water that is without chlorox and without minerals. Very especially for cyanide. Water, tank 1 of rain. You can see it coming from the roof. Water that is not exactly a tank, but it's a storage of rainwater too. And surprisingly, the third one, I was the one who gave them to them. Because I saw it in Costco. I really believe they used it for water. And with all the goodwill, I gave them the one. The fact is they are using it for intoxicating me. The rainwater toxic gas. The rainwater tank is, the third one is here. The only time I have seen them in all these years actually watering the plants with rainwater have been using this one. And they were more like wanting me to see them using the supposed gift that actually irrigating the water. I mean, using the water, irrigating the plants. Well, I just mentioned they need pure water to do their chemical mixes. Why they have rainwater? Because in a place like Puerto Rico, when you have a hurricane like Hurricane Maria, you can have weeks without water from the tap system or for the cisterna. And you need to have reserve of sweet water. They know that, of pure water. They know that since Maria. But right now, in this moment, the fact is, if they need pure water for the chemical mixes, they have it there. No need to go to pour water there. They have it. And there are signs that when I prepared this card, I had no idea that it was there. There are clear signs. I mean, this house of tortures have more water bubbles than bathrooms. There's one here. We passed one already. There is another there. There are two here. There are other there. That besides the alcantarilla that is in the street. Why this is highly suspicious? For years, I mean, these two are the closest, I checked them. For years, they claim it to the autoridad de cuentos alcantarillados, the authority that keep measures of the water meters. They claim it to them, our meter is underground due to the construction. What happened? That meant that my progenitors were billed the water according to ordinary domestic use approximations. They were billed $30-40 monthly. That is the average for this zone. And that is what I have heard of other people having similar spaces like this. What happened? At some point, they were forced to have an alcantarilla outside to be metered. I don't know when that happened, but who forced them or what they didn't tell. But when they did that, they built this pressure meter that was not there originally. Nothing of that was there. Well, probably they simply moved the alcantarilla as an excuse. If they were not forced, it was an excuse to put the meter there. And I already explained this. They need that meter, pressure meter, that is not ordinary at all in a domestic. This is industrial. This is not a domestic ordinary tool. They needed to measure how exact water comes here, because they need very precise pressure and measures to do their chemical mixes. Either tap water or not, they need very precise measures. So what happened when they stopped being charged by general approximations of the water and they began actually to be metered? The amount of monthly bills of water raised from $30-40 to more than $100 per month. They actually said I was the fault because I took long baths, but I only took one bath per week. Long bath, yes, but usually one per week. Because, well, the water somehow, something caused me the skin to burn sometimes, and I wanted to avoid that. But the fact is, as soon as they began to get the water meter, the water use meter, they began to pay $100 and more, $80, $100 more. That is not a normal amount for a domestic environment. It's not even normal if they say they plant they water the plants every day. ChatGPT says for someone who waters the plants every day, that is not the amount either. It's way too high for a domestic environment amount of water. And well, just to let you know, in Puerto Rico, the electricity is quite high in cost, but the water is not. So yes, more than $100 in water is a lot of water. And now it can be explained why they spend and what exactly they spend that amount of water. So, what kind of toxic gases they prepare with this water? We have confirmed several of them. There are four that they are explicitly known, these four gases, that they need pure water to be able to do them. Phosphine, hydrogen sulfide, chlorine dioxide, cyanide, especially cyanide. In case you haven't noticed that, cyanide is the same toxic gas that was used in Auschwitz and by the Nazis. Yes, they use it. The fact is, for those specific gases, they need very pure water. So they need a very good water system to be very sure they won't be having an explosion. They will need a filter system and need a water system. Well, I just showed you how many valves there are. Well, and I also show you why the pressure meter is really not a domestic thing. It's quite industrial, right? This will be all of the architecture feature number 8. The rainwater system, and in general the whole water system.